Juarez? Javar?
How y'all doing?
We're doing fine. How are you doing?
I'm doing just very well, thank you for
Good.
asking. My name is Javar Juarez. This is from the 1619. The legacy of 1619 surrounds us whether we acknowledge it or not. And Black Americans understand that we have been taught the history of a country that does not exist. In the United States, public history has often been racialized, gendered, and interwoven in the fabric of white supremacy. And we know that history is the fruit of power, except that our nation's glorious remembrance is all but overwhelmed by an even more glorious forgetting. Black Americans, because of our particular experience in this land, because we have borne the brunt of this forgetting, we are less given to mythologizing America's past than white Americans. In truth, most of the fights over the 1619 project were never really about the facts. Princeton historian Alan C. Guelzo denounced the 1619 project for treating slavery not as a blemish that the founders grudgingly tolerated, and not as a regrettable chapter in the distant past, but as living, breathing pattern upon which all American social life is based. Guelzo then made it clear that the source of his antipathy was not just what the project was saying, but who was saying it. It is the bitterest of ironies that the 1619 project dispenses the malediction from the chair of ultimate cultural privilege in America, because in no human society has enslaved people suddenly found itself vaulted into positions of such privilege, and with the consent, even the approbation of those who were once the enslavers. There are many people, including right here in this very room, that want to pass laws that would ensure that students continue to learn the version of American history that American children have always been taught. And what these bills make clear is that the fights over the 1619 project and CRT, like most fights over history, at their essence are about power. Why would we expect the nation's power structure even to acknowledge, much less come to terms with such a dark and formative chapter in our collective family history? It's because nations need to control national memory, because nations need to keep their shape by shaping their citizens' understanding of the past. White Americans desire to be free of a past they don't want to remember, while Black Americans remain bound to a past that we can never forget. With America's independence, the founding fathers could no longer blame slavery on Britain. The sin became this nation's own, and just like today, so too is the constant need to cleanse it. Good night.